Hey guys, Kev here, and I wanted to do a collection video. So I haven't done a collection video in probably a year. My collection's so fluid, I'm always selling shit, and it's like, when's the perfect time for this collection video, right? And people like updates, collection updates and whatnot. Mine is just like, it's always different, so it's kind of weird, and I always have a ton of stuff out on loan because I'm always passing around knives and shit like that, right? So what I'm going to do is run through what I have. I'm not sure if the best way to do this is to just grab them and show you like this, or if I should hit the tabletop and show you that way. And then put the video together, you know what I mean? Obviously, for me right now, the easiest way would be to just run through them and show you. And I think that's what I'm going to stick with. It'll be kind of old school. I have videos on every one of these knives. If it's not live yet, it will be if you haven't seen the review. But I doubt there's a knife in this collection that has not been filmed in some way. One thing I want to note is I have a couple of sections of knives, three that I'm not going to count. So first ones are knives I bought specifically like for my wife for the kitchen, or things I've given to my wife to use, or they're just like downstairs somewhere. Those aren't technically part of my collection for me. I would consider the collection knives to be the ones in my case over here and my little valet thing over here. So there's those, right? There's she has like a Desert Warrior. There's the James Brand Palmer utility knife thing, and maybe a couple others I can't think of, and then a few kitchen knives. There's also some in my truck that I'm not gonna just collect all this shit so I can have the biggest collection video ever. Like, I don't care about that. But I do have a tomahawk in my truck, and a Civivi fixed blade. What else the hell do I have in there? Skeletal, and then I have like Swiss Army. I don't know, some other shit in there. And then over here I have a bunch of Devo stuff, so Devo prototypes, stuff like that. Those are not going to count. I might grab the ones that are in my case over here because they're in the case right now, so sure, they count for the moment. And then there's a bunch down here in a zip bag that I've had for years. They're like gas station knives or decent knives that I just don't keep in my case because I don't want to keep that many knives in the case. I'm never going to sell them because they're sentimental in one way or another. Like, an example would be I have a Ferrum Forge Stinger down there that Jake from Bearded Gear gifted me. There's, I've had it modded and got scales for it. It's not like expensive or anything like that, and it's not a gas station knife, but it's just not something I carry, and it's not something I'm going to throw away. So it's just kind of there, and maybe eventually I'll do something with it, but I don't want to let it go either. So there's that. So with that out of the way, that's probably another 30 knives, but doesn't matter, right? So let's start with the collection of like larger knives that I have. So technically I have here, I don't know why I said technically, but I have the Hogue Knives machete. I think this one's called the Way machete. I don't know if there's another one called the Path or something like that. By the way, if you want some Devo merch, hit up the website, devoknives.com. We got mugs, shirts, patches, all types of shit. We're adding some LeftyEDC stuff there too. It's also linked below every video as well. So this is the machete. It's in black micarta, full tang construction, and then you have 14C28N for the machete part. It's got a little flex to it, which is cool. I have not used this. I've had it for a couple months, but it's winter here. I also am not a big outdoors person, so I don't know when, if I will use it. I have tested it. It does cut paper. But anyway, I have that machete. I should probably move a little quicker. We don't need to review everything. Then I have the Hogue Knives Quaichetti. So I kind of got hooked on these larger knives from Hogue. They are all made in China, but they are sourced from parts all over and whatever, I don't know. But they're cool. And this is the one that started it. I got this in for the Knife Rights giveaway for Knives Live 2022. And it just really sparked something with me. And I wanted to get one. So I got this kind of a samurai sword kind of thing. Take on that. It's got a red, I guess that's G10, yeah. Nicely done though. And then you have a black washed 154 CM blade. Really, really cool in my opinion. I do wish the sheath did not have this open portion where you can pop it up like that, but once you get it past a certain point, it's not like a big deal. And it just pops in. And lastly, we have the the Hogue PS2 axe. And this one, I believe you go beard first, like this. Or no, you do this first. Yeah. This is the PS2 axe. This one's my favorite out of the group. It's got this awesome carbon fiber handle. And then it has this blade up here. I don't know what it's made out of. AEBL. So for an axe, I'd say that's pretty good. It's interesting. Razor blade steel for an axe. The cool thing about it is the weight. It literally weighs nothing. It's like 17 or 20 ounces. And, you know, I mean, even for a weak-ass dude like me, I could swing this thing all day, no problem. It's got the little zombie brain smasher on the back, so you can get them from both sides. Giggity, that's what she said, but really cool piece. So, again, I think you go in with this guy, and then you kind of zoop it in like that, strap this around. So, those are the large boys. There we go. And then I guess we should zip through the slip joint. So I know a lot of people are going to go, oh, here we go. But I'll go quick. So the first one I have is the one I've been carrying. This is the Jackwolf Knives Javelina Jack. This is in the dark matter green. My lighting's not great here because I'm obviously filming it like this. But it is what it is. I don't know if this would help. Like that. Yeah, a little bit. So this is the Javelina Jack. It's the newest release, dropping on the 17th of February, and it is fantastic. So there's the Javelina Jack, and here we go. Then we have the Low Drag Jack in 80s camo carbon. Absolutely wonderful knife. This is top 3 for me in terms of Jackwolfs. I absolutely adore the Low Drag Jack. Then we're just going to go backwards down the line. We have the Venom Jack. This was my knife of the year for 2022. Just unbelievable walk and talk. Beautiful Warncliffe blade, full hollow, ergos for days. Just got such a good walk and talk. And then you add Troy's slip, and this is also a slip collection. Absolutely love it. Next up is the Cyborg Jack, one of the coolest releases of last year. Pink camo carbon, beautiful, unique design on this clip point blade right here. Ergonomic again. Just got that walk and talk, 4 days. Love that model. Then we have the Vampire Jack right here. And this guy is a little bit more streamlined, but it has that cool coffin handle. Beautiful spear point, dagger style blade. Little tighter action, but it has its own sort of unique feel to it. Nice stout spring. You can see how it jumps. Love that one as well. I love them all, guys. Then, I don't know if the order is still correct here. Then we have the Benny's clip right here. This one's in the Toxic Green Camo Carbon. It's the only one without a full hollow grind. Laney's clip design. This is probably my least favorite of the bunch, and it's still an absolutely fantastic knife. Very, very big, nice, comfortable grip for a slip joint. I'd say it's big. And some people love that to death. I am not one of them. Next up we have, I believe the Canine Jack was next. Going backwards, your dogleg pattern knife. Very underrated in my opinion. This one did not sell as well, I think, as some of the others. But it has amazing walk and talk. It's one of the most ergonomic in the line. Don't love the snubby spear point, but other than that, it is absolutely fantastic. So that is the Canine. And then, of course, we have this gem, the Midnight Jack in Purple Haze, Fat Carbon. So much room to grab and pull and pinch, and just a pleasure to operate and look at. And it's a great knife. Then we have the, then we have the Little Bro. Actually got this one last. And this guy is in Copper, Dark Matter, Fat Carbon. This one's been hand-tuned basically by Ben, and it shows one of the snappiest, just, oh my God. Absolutely love it. I did take a diamond file and just hit these edges a little bit, and now it is a pleasure to open and close. It was a little sharp before. Then we have the laid back Pickle Jack, which I am trying to rename this Javelina Jack as the new Pickle Jack. Got some pickle there, huh? But this is the OG Pickleback Jack. Swayback pattern, jungle wear, Fat Carbon, Warncliffe. Just a pleasure of a knife. This one's got a lighter spring than the others. Not too light, just lighter. And, oh man, you could do this all day. Beautiful, beautiful piece. And last but absolutely not least, the Sharpshooter Jack in this beautiful Ortesia Pueblo slip. Gun stock pattern with that dark matter blue, Fat Carbon, clip point blade. Just, this one started it off with a bang and never looked back. Absolute wonderful piece. Gotta love it. All right, so that's all the Jack Wolves. Let me get them back in line here. See if I can get them back in line properly. All right, next one is the Canine. Then we got the Bennies. Then we got the Vampire. Then we got to start stacking on top with the Cyborg. And then the Venom. And then the Low Drag. Then we got the new one, the Javelina. Also in here, I have Urban EDC Supply, Baby Barlow, Justin Lundquist design. Beautiful top flipper. Cannot wait for them to come back with this in some sick-ass materials. Hopefully, they finally start doing some Fat Carbon and Camo Carbon. They are basically 2 years behind everybody, you know, unless they're just doing their thing and they don't like Camo Carbon and Fat Carbon, you know. But that's the problem with Riot. You got to order way ahead. So that's the Baby B. No other knives in there, pens, shit like that, but that's not going to happen. Let's go across the desk, and then we'll hit the case. I have my Jacob Creates Chickadee. In my opinion, the best fixed blade you can get. Nice edge on there from Kyle Coonley. Starting to wear in a little bit. I have used this quite a bit. Nice blue paper micarta scales. Just comfortable as hell. Really, really good size. I mostly carry it in this because I belt carry it as a tertiary because I carry way too many knives. But that is how I carry it. I do have a cool slip for it if I want to pocket carry it I have this for the left front pocket from Oak City Leather Supply. So there's that guy. Then we did the Javelina, and I kind of showed you the Jaeger. I just pimped this out with Zerk accents. So we have black PVD hardware now, and then Zerk clip, pivot collar, backspacer. I did end up bending this clip down, so now it is super tight, which is good for me. It should wear in. It's on them skifferoons. Ooh, did you hear that? It's on them skifferoons. Money detent. Just really dialed in my opinion. Dead centered. Really happy with how this came out at the end here. Really cool piece. And the Jaeger M is just one of the best models out there. This is the Fanatic Edge exclusive version. Now, it came with blue hardware and shit, but I swapped that out. The golf putter is the exclusive part, which looks just deadly. Yeah, great knife. So that one is a beast. Now, going down the line, we have the Arcane Design Protheon. This is the carbon fiber version. This is an exclusive at PVK Vegas. You could basically assume if any of these knives have bearings, they have skiffs in them. So there are skiffs in this knife. And just for fun, let's hit every size just to show you my brain if I can. We'll see. This is the 6mm 1/16 16 ball skiffs. And this is 5mm 1/16 11 ball. And again, just beautiful. 20 CV, satin grinds, very fingerprinty. And then you have that carbon fiber with the gray inlays. I did have an all zirconited out one in titanium, but I don't need multiples of things. And this one is fantastic. I love the weight. Next up, we have a left-handed Vero Engineering Synapse. This is fantastic. That's the word of the day, guys. Just wonderful. Seriously, a pleasure. And Vero is so awesome for doing these in a lefty. It has the V spot for a reverse flick. It's a bolster lock. You still have the flipper tab. I mean, I really wanted this model to come out in a lefty. I would have taken the mini Impulse too, and now I would love to see a mini Axon frame lock in lefty, but this is awesome. These are also dropping on February 17th along with the Jackwolf knives, so a big day on the 17th there, but I love this guy. 5mm 1/16 11 ball bearings. Next up, the Urban EDC F5.5. I did sell my other G10 ones. I've kept this one. This is a hand satin and M390 titanium scales, lunch, deep carry, custom wire clip, or not custom, wire clip replacement. Not wire clip, Jesus. Just replacement clip that Urban EDC commissioned. Hopefully they do more, but hand satin is the key here. 5mm 1/16 11 ball bearings. They are pretty much in everything. Next up, this is the gem in my collection. Absolutely my favorite knife, hands down, that I own. Might surprise a couple people, but it is the CKF Evo, or Rotten Evo 2.0. And this one has been modded by K Nathan, aka Nathan's Knives. Beautiful 80s fat carbon or camo carbon scale and pivot collar. He tuned that D10 up so it's actually really good. Beautiful M390 belt satin. He even made a 80s camo carbon clip that works really well. You're on 6mm 1/16 18 ball multi-row bearings. So the Jaeger is 16 ball multi-row. This one is 18 ball. A freaking amazing knife. The best knife I own, in my opinion. Next up, Quiet Carry 9. This one came in hot this year. Absolutely fantastic. And this one has the Nebula fat carbon inlay with the knurling on that black PVD handle. Then you have that stonewash blade. This one's made in Taiwan. This one is on a new size of skiff bearings, the 5mm 3/64 ball bearing size. He now has those for 5mm, 3/16, and I believe 6mm. I have not tried or found anything that takes the other two, but the 5mm 3/64 is a thing you will see more commonly now, because you can get knives like this more drop shutty than you can on the 1/16 size. So like the Nimble had these, the OG Nimble, the Devo Growler has these. There's just a few that have it. So we're going to see it more and more, but this knife is incredible. Thumb stud action, beautiful D10. I actually tuned it a little bit to put a little pressure on it, and she pops, and it's just gorgeous. This is the only knife with an inlay on one side that really I like. The one-sided thing is not for me. I guess this one is too, but that clip really helps a lot there. But normally that is not my style. Next up, we have a freaking masterpiece from Renegade Provisions Co. This is the God of Mischief, or the GOM, and you see it eats skin, baby. This one has this Warncliffe, just gorgeous blade shape. Flat grind, would love it to be a hollow, but that's okay. It has ziggurat jimping up in the hole, and that's why it takes the skin off with it. This one I have pimped out, so it has all bead blasted hardware and collars, and then a PVD frame, and then I have the satin blade on it. Just beautiful action. Skiff bearings, of course. This one's on 6mm, 1/16 16 ball. So just like the Jaeger, which I am seeing more and more now, this one is wonderful. And I believe it is available right now. If you want to check it out, go to Renegade Provisions Co. I'll try to link everything I can in the description, but it would be a lot of work. So just remember the name and Google Renegade Provisions Co. Love that knife. Next up is a special one to me. This one is the Demco Knives AD 20.5 in textured titanium with a transparent knives, reblade in Magna Cut. 64.7 HRC, 8 thousandths behind the edge with a shallow hollow grind. Just an absolute beast. And this thing is the perfect 20.5. There's no way around it. It's got good lightweight with that textured titanium. It's got a beautiful blade. It's got skiffs, 6mm, 1mm. Don't know the ball count on that, but 6mm, 1mm single row. Not a good flicker on the thumb, but if you build it up and just fire it, you can get that reverse flick down real easy. Absolutely wonderful to hold. Nice choil grip up there, or you can hold it back in this grip. Lynch clip comes in lefty or righty, made for this knife, which is awesome. And yeah, Brian does some crazy work over there, and I really want to get another one of these. That's how much I love it. I want to get another one with, you know, one of those peanut holes and maybe a cool sheep's foot or something. Or maybe get one of the shark pups he has. Next up, the greatest knife of all time, or the greatest folding knife of all time. The Brown Knives Mini FSD. You guys know this is the pants creamer of all pants creamers. Just an absolute pleasure of a knife to own, operate, enjoy. This one right here is number 8 of the minis in 154 cm. It has black pivot and body screw because I took it off of my full size when I got it. It does not have collars like the full size. That's one thing I would like to see. Beautiful hand ground, hollow grind. Action is sick. This one is on skiff bearings. You're looking at 3/16, 1/16. I think it's 11 ball single rows, the standard ones. And look at that action. There's no play side to side at all. There's a little bit up and down, as people know. If you really wrench on it, Apparently, that's just the lock bar flexing. I have spine whacked the shit out of this on request and had no failure. So it's just a pleasure, guys. As a lefty, it was like made for me. It's a lefty button lock, essentially. I mean, I can flick it, use the thumb, right? Just so nice. You can even front flip it. And basically, the detent is perfect. Could not ask for a better detent on a knife. So this knife is a gem. Next one is also highly coveted. This is by me. This is the Trevor Burger Customs Urban. This is actually number 1. I don't know if you can see that right there. Number 001 of the Urbans. This one is in M390 with a hand satin right there. I actually have a lefty version of this coming. Hopefully the same build, just black hardware and clip. And then I'm hoping it's going to be number 1 again. And the reverse flick off of that full hollow grind is just amazing. So he does a full hollow grind to the spine, and that makes it to where it's kind of inset a little bit, and you can catch your finger in the grind and easily reverse flick it. This is one of the best knives ever made. This is a top 3 knife for me. It fits my hand literally like a glove, like just enough, and everything fits perfect. Absolutely love this knife. I am going to be very torn if the lefty version is as good as this, what to do, because I don't need duplicates, and if the lefty's just as good. So it's going to be an interesting experience, but this one is absolutely wonderful. The next 2 here, these are loaners. 3, these are loaners in. There's a loaner. Have a few in right now, prototypes. Next up, we have Calum Blades Ari. So this is a fantastic knife. Oh, sorry. Trevor Burger, 3/16, 1/16, 11 ball again. Calum Blade Design Ari. This one's 5mm, 1/16, 11 ball. And this one has the cool copper carbon fiber. Has these really cool pivot collars. It is not an integral, but it looks like one because of that. Standoffs, reversible clip, which is really cool. This is a pretty big boy. It's the biggest knife in my collection. 3.6-inch blade, but it feels bigger than that to me. Really stout and comfortable detent. Nice hole deployment. You do have a front flipper that is up high enough to really get some leverage on. Skip bearings are good in this. Got it nice and tight. She will drop though. Dead center. Yeah, it's a good piece. Little bit tricky left-handed because I tend to be on that lock bar right in that spot where I can't be. I got to climb up to the inlay, but it works. And this was a gift from the knife company, Calum Blade Design. So big shout out to Kevin. Thank you, dude. Much appreciated. And that is the Ari. These are available right now. He just dropped some of these a couple of weeks ago when you see this. And I think this is a really cool knife for the price point. So check it out. Next up, we have the Tomeo designed Wingman EDC Mach 3 made by Riot. This is 5mm, 1/16, 11 ball bearings. Just an amazing piece right here. I really love this knife to death. But I hate a couple things about it. It's like one of those family members that you love so much, but you just want to change a couple things, you know? Just show up on time. God damn it. In this case, it's the proprietary hardware. Just cut it with the proprietary hardware. Just put a freaking Torx in the middle of that, and we would be all happy because it's a spinning pivot. It's a whole thing. But this is beautiful. You have White Storm Fat Carbon beautifully inlaid in there. This gorgeous belt satin. You can also get it in a hand satin. You have no hardware on the clip here. And beautiful action. It does not have an insert, but honestly, there's no stick, so it doesn't matter. Beautiful top flipper right here. Love that design. And the Mach 3 is awesome. Next up, we have the Kanwoo Knives compact towel or towel compact. Wire clip, which is reversible, which is nice. And this is a 3 1/4 inch towel. Beautiful action on this guy. Front flipper and regular flipper. They use multi-row bearings. I have tried the Skiff 16 ball bearings in here, multi-rows, but they don't quite work. I think they're too thick to get the pivot through. So it's possible that they're running these on 6mm 3/64 multi-row, which is not something Skiff has, so that's not what I have in here. And honestly, they're on a Teflon cage multi-row ceramic ball system. It has that smoothness of a Shiro. Like, it is unbelievable how they do that. So there's really no reason to mess with that, in my opinion. Couple things I would change about this knife: just more aggressive jimping here and jimping up and around here. But minor things. I really love this knife. Kanwoo is a cool company, and that is the compact towel. Moving along here, we have the Boost Blades Aero Mini. So I call it that because this is the Aero Mini, but then it was chopped by Blade Chops because I had a little snafu having this sharpened. The tip ended up out of the handle, and we sent it off to Blade Chops, and he took a little bit off the blade, and he took a little bit off of the handle, mounted a Civivi clip on it, and now she's good as new and very, very unique. I love this knife. It's just a unique knife, and we who did this a few years ago did an amazing job. Look at that carbon fiber inlay. It's seamless as all get out. I mean, literally just seamless. You have a beautiful hole or slot you can fire off of when you're not on camera, and it has a perfect detent. Just super crispy, and it has a ting when you hold it the right way, and, you know, off camera I'll hear it, but just a wonderful piece. The lock bar is a little bit stiff, and that's because it has that great detent, but you can see the action's, I mean, good. Doesn't need to break in. 5mm 1/16 11 ball bearings in here, which are a little bit big for the size of the knife, and that's what happens. The next one was a gift. Actually, that last one was a gift from Josh Worth. So big shout out to my Australian brother, Josh Worth. He is a channel member, a moderator for me. I proxy for him, and I would call him a friend. Thank you, dude. I really appreciate that. The next one was a gift from my business partner on Devo Knives, and that is Colin Mason Pierre, aka CM Knife Designs. He gifted me this for my birthday, which was amazing. This is the Spyderco Native 5 in fluted carbon fiber. I have a lynch clip on here to match the hardware and blade. This guy's on washers, so no skiffs here. Amazing action on this guy. Just swings down like that. I can kind of reverse flick it sometimes. I just have to get it like really lined up. There we go, fling it across the room. I don't really flick this one. I slow roll it. When I'm feeling old, I grab this guy. So that's the Native 5 fluted S90V. Oh, it does have a regrind by DCC. I never remember who that is. And it's really nice. Got a nice belt satin, super thin behind the edge. Cuts like a beast. This is a fantastic knife. Next up, a couple OTFs. This one is the Hogue Compound 3.5 in G10. Again, no bearings in here. And this is my thunderclap. This one fires like nobody's business. Sounds like a shotgun going off. I mean, it's crazy. Really ergonomic. It has a very comfortable grip. It does look a little goofy, but it very comfortable. And then you kind of have a choil right here. If you go and get into a Friday night gas station fight, you are set up to win at 7-Eleven. So don't lose your Slurpee on it. Love the switch because it's so pronounced. You can just do it sideways. You can do it backwards. I mean, it's just a fun knife. Nice deep carry, reversible clip. It does wiggle a little, but when you put pressure on it, but really cool kind of honeycomb pattern. I really like this knife. Really well done S30V by Hogue. Sharpened like a beast, ground like a beast. This is a really good EDC knife, even though it's an OTF. That's rare. The next one as well is in that category. The Kershaw Livewire. This is their first OTF offering, and they absolutely crushed it. When I got that Hogue, after I got a Heretic, I was like, ooh, this Hogue is good, the best thing ever. And I announced it as my favorite OTF I've tried. And I've tried a bunch. You know, Microtech, Heretic, Guardian Tactical, Axial, a whole bunch. And that Hogue just was the best. But this came along and quickly stole that prize. And a lot of it has to do with the sleek and beautiful nature of this design, the way they did it. This canted clip has grown on me. I really like it. And it's reversible and doesn't have a glass breaker. Just like the Hogue. Love that. Thank you for not being tactical. And, which there's nothing wrong with tactical. It's just not my style. Then we have this switch right here, which is super easy to deploy. I mean, insanely easy. Now, I will real quickly note, somebody sent me a Guardian Tactical 025 to try. And this is, yes, this is the easiest OTF I've ever tried. And it has the same amount of juice. It's not like leaps and bounds better, but it is a little bit better. So I wanted to point that out. And if you're looking for a good OTF for your wife or something like that, I've had people ask me, I think this is the one, guys. Because it's small, it's comfortable, and I think it's easy enough to fire. I'm going to see if my wife likes it and then maybe get her one. But this one is right there. Love the switch. Love that it's USA made. I love the design. It's kind of got a dagger thing going on. It's got a nice pokey tip for EDC, but it has a decent grind, and it's 20 CV. Seems to cut really well, and the action's really good. I'm really enjoying the Livewire. So big shout out to Kershaw for actually making a good knife for me. Next up is a knife sent in for review, but it is mine. This is the Bosty Nightshade. If I fuck my ears up, hammering those OTF, or just talking too much. Dogs are sleeping over there. This is the Bosty Nightshade with a hole. And, yeah, I actually really like this knife. Just finished the review. Black my card out, 154 cm. Sort of rose gold pivot collars. The action is incredible on this. Banana blade, but very comfortable in the hand. I gotta say, it's good. Now, this one's probably going to get passed around, given away, something like that. These knives that I get in for review, I get a lot of them, honestly. Bosty, Kaiser sent me some stuff. Olight sends me stuff. You know, I get them from other brands as well. I just can't think of. And I review them, and then I tend to pass them around to other reviewers if they haven't had a chance at them, and then I'll give them away or whatever, right? Like, it's a good knife, but it's not necessarily something that I'm going to, like, reach for in my collection to carry every day. Does that make sense? So, anyway, really good knife. It has amazing acoustics. I don't know if you can hear that sort of, oh, it's so good. So, I really like this one. That's the Nightshade. Next up is one of my designs with Colin. This is the Devo Knives Mash. Absolutely love this knife. Oh, let me back up a second. Did not take this apart, but I can't guarantee it actually, because it looks like smaller bearings. So no, I don't know the bearings in this one. Damn it, stumped. This is the Devo Knives Mash, 5mm 1/16 11 ball bearings. Titanium, 14C28N. We got this one in at $135 retail. Blue Creek Knives exclusive. Shout out to Brian. And then with a coupon, Lefty10 over at Blue Creek. This guy was 122 out the door. That was our goal, was to hit 120 with this guy, and we did it. And I'm proud of that. And we have more of these coming in different colorways with some CQI. Just excited about the model. I have a Lynch deep carry clip and skiffs on here, obviously. That's just the way I roll. This one has a really stiff detent. It was sent back because it was too stiff, and I was going to tune it, and then I was like, you know what? I like it, so I'm keeping it. So there you go. That is the Mash. Next up is an Asher knife. Big shout out to Justin over at Asher Knives. There might be one other one. I know, I think I put it in another case. This is my favorite Asher knife of all time. It just came out so good. The form factor, all of it just works. This is the Asher Knives Nomad. And this is the full titanium frame lock with M390 steel. But look how stupid thin this knife is. I mean, it is got to be under 0.4 of an inch. 0.35. 0.35 thickness on a folding knife. Stupid thin. Still has amazing action. Pretty sure this is 5mm 1/16 11 ball, but I can't be positive. Pretty sure though. Unbelievable detent. Like, this is just, man, he killed it on this knife. I have a bunch of prototypes of his and other models. They're down in that bag I was telling you about. They're just stuff I won't carry or whatever. I don't want to give away because they have sentimental value. So anyway, really good piece. The only downside is it's a bit righty biased. It's hard to do a reverse flick lefty. You gotta kind of get back here. But really cool knife. I enjoy it. And it's kind of a throwback. Next one here is one of Colin's designs. This is the CM Knife Designs designed Best Tech Tonic. And this is another backlock. So I have two backlocks in my collection. This one is on 5mm 1/16 11 ball bearings. M390. You have a marbled carbon fiber with this beautiful bolstered titanium reversible clip, which is cool. I wish they did a filler tab, but they didn't. And then it has his inset ball backlock system. So it has a detent ball right up in here on the inside. And so it actually stops right here and has to pass that ball. So it ends up acting like a detent where you can fire it out. And you can actually reverse flick it, if I can get it right. Yeah, I struggle with that sometimes. There you go. Way easier to reverse flick than any other lockback. But I like the thumb flick on it. Great EDC knife, and I love his blade shapes. His kind of sheep's cliff blade shapes. Or sheep spear. I don't know. Something like that. Next up are a couple of Tempest knives. Big shout out to Casey over at Tempest Knives. This is a microburst prototype. So this knife is up for pre-order right now, I believe. He put the order in, but he still has these up, and it is in 14C, 28N, and micarta, black micarta. This is a black wash blade and black hardware, 5mm 1/16 bearings. Just a wonderful knife. Yeah, nice stout detent on this one, which I really enjoy. Wire clip, which I've swapped to a Lynch clip. So just a really good piece. I love this knife. It has one of the best ergonomics on a knife this size and price point. Nice little sheep's foot blade. And then my knife of the year in the budget category last year was the Tempest Knives Pinion. Another wonderful knife. Both of those are OEM by Kubi. Again, wire clip replaced with a Lynch clip. Sheep's foot blade. Good ergonomics, not as good as the other one because it's a little bit more of a straighter handle, but really good. Larger knife, 3.5-inch blade-ish. Skiff bearings, again, 5mm 1/16 11 ball. Fires. Yeah. Really dig this knife. So those are the Tempest knives. Now I have a couple Devo knives here. This is our Stout This is my personal one that I kept because it had, I keep, you know, they have a minor issue or something. This one has a really strong detent and a little bit of detent lash, so kept this one. 80s camo carbon from Carbide on there with the unbranded pivot, Lynch clip, skiff bearings, 5mm 1/16 11 ball, black wash blade. This one has unbelievable action. I mean, it's like, you gotta get out of the way. I have recently taken this apart and kind of tried to dial that down a little bit, but man, it's just hard. You can't even get your finger out of the way. Mokutai backspacer or Zerkutai backspacer. Then I have another one in Mexican blanket, G-Carta, Lynch clip, unbranded pivot, skiffs, all that. This one is a little off center and has a absolutely tank detent. And that's why I kept this one. So I try to keep on the stiff detents. Love this knife. This was our first project, our first knife. Just so strong. I love it. This one will always hold a special place in my heart, and I love the Stout. So there it is. Next up is a Devo Knives Growler from Shielded Knives. This one has an absolute beast of a detent again. Oh, yeah. But it doesn't drop. I have to give it like a shake to get to there. And then, so I kept this one, and I'm going to try to break it in, see what happens. But yeah, stiff, nice choil, really sharp blades on these. They did a great job with the grinds and the heat treats on this 14C. And yeah, we are working on a V2 with a different OEM. This one's from Shielded Knives. We will not be working with them ever again. We just had some QC issues and terrible resolution from them. So next up is another Asher knife. This is a prototype of the Spiro with hole with the collars. There you go. S35 VN blade, very thin. Frame lock. This one's done by Kanwoo. Really cool model. I love to see the evolution of the Spiro. Justin's just doing cool stuff. Last few here. We have, this one was sent in for review, but it's mine, so I will pass this around, but I'm waiting for them to send me some parts. This is the Dagger Knives Mermaid OTF. This one's interesting because you can see it has a switch here and a switch here. So you have your traditional OTF right here. VG10 dagger blade, only sharpened on one side. Not the strongest OTF, but it works, right? But the unique feature of this is you can use it as a ring karambit style, and then you have this second switch, and you can easily grab that, and it works so well. It's pretty amazing. Pops out down here. Now you're at the gas station on Friday night, and you're good to go. And then you complete your Slurpee mission, retract, and you can go back in your pocket. The downside so far, and we'll see once I get the new parts, I'm going to wait to do the review. This clip wiggles, and it was real wiggly before. And I tried swapping the screw because it has extra hardware, and the screw would just spin and spin and spin in the frame. Because it's mounted on the side here instead of the back, like most OTFs, because there's a ring, they only have this much space on the frame before they end up in the frame, and then you're blocking the blade. So they tried mounting this clip so shallow, and the screw threads only came out like this far out of the clip, and so it just wouldn't work. Anyway, so I couldn't get it to work, so I tried this screw that I had. Luckily, it was long enough, and it got it to move less than stock, but it was kind of blocking the blade. And I guess it kind of just worked itself out. Probably beat up something a little bit, but it seems fine. But they're sending me a new clip, hardware, and I believe a new frame for this side. Just this side scale. so I can try to fix this, which would be awesome. And once that happens, I will do the review, and then I will pass this around to some other channels. But that is the Dagger Knives Mermaid OTF VG10. Interesting knife. We'll see how that finishes up. And closing this out, we have one more after this. This is the Pony Stout from Devo Knives. So this is our smaller version of the Stout in a budget form factor. You have G10 or Blue Micarta on these, 14C in Stonewash or Blackwash, and absolutely wonderful action. QSP on these, they killed the action. 5mm 1/16 on these, and yeah, just a pleasure. Just a pleasure to flick and operate. That's the Pony Stout. This one, I believe, is 5mm, 1mm, but I cannot be certain. It could be those 3/64 ball ones. Not certain. The Growler is definitely 5mm, 3/64. And then the Stout we talked about. Pony Stout as well, 5mm, 1/16, 11 ball. And this last one, see if I can get it out of here. Come on. Come on. Trying to get it out with the slip, but it's not going to come out. Wanted to show you the slip. All right, this last one is the Urban EDC Monaco. Jens Anso design. I have a Troy. I have a Northwoods Leatherworks slip. Took the clip off, and you have this Worry Stone micro knife, and has a flipper tab with some jimping right here. And if you're not on camera, it's easy to just pop back. Spear point daggery type blade, very, very small grind, not super thin, but it works. Really good action on this for being a micro knife. I mean, it's pretty crazy, pretty crazy. The bearing size on this is tiny. The Baby Barlow also just really, really tiny. We're talking like 1/8 pivot. And then, you know, somewhere between 1mm and 3/64 ball bearings. No reason to swap them on these. They both come with really good action anyway. Fantastic knife. I really dig this knife. It's just a cool piece to have, especially if you're like in the office or something like that, you know. Very unassuming knife you can pop out and, you know, cut something with or do whatever. So that's the Monaco. So that's it, guys. That's the main collection. Should we count them up and see how many I have? Because I really don't know. I'm not going to count the Devos. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, those aren't mine, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39. And I think that's it. I think we're looking at 39. Oh, and the 3 up there. So it's at 42. It's about right. I figure it's about 40 usable, like in the actual collection type knives. You know, it could probably go up to 50 if you count the ones down there that are like, you know, and in the truck. Yeah, it's probably a 60 count, but I'm gonna say 40 so that I don't feel like I need to sell some. No, I'm just kidding. That's how I roll though. Once my case starts looking full, I just start selling shit because it's like there's no way I could carry all these, you know. So why have them all? And I need to keep funds fresh and moving. So that's kind of how I roll. But anyway, to try not to make this an hour long, 55 minutes is better. I'm going to stop here. Let me know what you guys think. I would love to see your collection video if you have a channel. If you do not, I would love to hear your top 3 knives in your collection, your top 5, your top 10, whatever you feel like giving. If you've made it this far, I truly appreciate you. Your guys' support has been amazing. We are so close to 10K. We might be there by the time this video posts. that would be amazing. If you guys could subscribe, that would be awesome. Hit that like button, leave a comment. Follow me on Instagram. I don't get the same kind of growth on Instagram as I do here, so it would be cool if more people would head over there. I do the same thing, just short form. If you guys have any questions for me, leave them down below. I'm due for a Q&A video again. I would love to do that. So any questions you have, I always answer those comments. I literally answer every comment that has a question or something that I need to respond to. Otherwise, I heart it. And if you're a dick, sometimes I just leave it alone. But usually, I'll sarcastically come back at you. So you can always do that. I know that it's Knipex and not Nipex. Thank you. But seriously, I love you guys so much. Appreciate all of the support. It means the world to me to keep the channel and Devo rolling, because I do eventually want to push over to full-time. It's not happening right now just because I need the income to be there to replace the day job, and it's not quite there because if I take the funds I need to pay myself to supplement, I would have channel funds and then I would have Devo funds and kind of make that connect together to cover what I make now, basically, which is not like a ton of money or anything. But if I did that, I would be pulling funds from Devo that we could be using to keep the business growing. And I think it makes more sense, since I'm somehow surviving doing all this, to keep pushing forward, keep using those funds to grow the business as best we can, so that we're setting ourselves up better for trying to go full-time at some point. If it ever happens. It may not. It may be something that we eventually just can't handle anymore and whatever. But I really do want to keep pushing that, and that's kind of the way I am, that I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. So, yeah. Anyway, I love you guys. Really appreciate it. There's the collection video. I hope you have an absolutely fantastic day. I'll try to do this again in 6 months or something, but it'll probably wait, and then I'll do it in a year. But I love you guys. Peace.